Southwest Florida, the team that's first, fair, everywhere. This is Wink News at 3.
We are marking 1 year since Hurricane Ian, a storm that shattered and decimated so many areas in Southwest Florida. But despite all the destructions, those communities are shining bright and lifting each other up. Thanks for sticking with us here. I'm Nicole Gabe.
And I'm Russ McCaskey. So many were affected, left homeless, even stranded. But every day in the last year, people are doing whatever they can to help them get by. Let's take a look at their stories.
With the organization I work for, we were boots on the ground just 2 days post Hurricane Ian. And so what our team did is deployed volunteers within the community to go out to the affected areas and bring the supplies to them. And it was really, I still get chills just thinking about it. It was amazing to see how grateful those families were, and I even get teary-eyed. But it was amazing to see how grateful those families were, and then how the community didn't think twice about coming together.
At the school district, we had put together a hurricane support team because we had over 100 employees that had lost almost everything. So being able to be a part of that and see the sense of help and community and just love and passion for where people live, it's amazing.
I grew up working, and my friends, we all worked at West Coast Surf Shop on Fort Myers Beach. That building is no longer there. It was at Times Square. And so it took me about 7 months to drive down to Fort Myers Beach just because of the emotional, that was my childhood. We grew up, we were skimboarding there and hanging out.
I live in Naples and I work for the airport down there. You know, Naples, particularly the city, was devastated. Feet of water everywhere, sand covering all the roads, just tremendous loss. We collected supplies, donations, because even though Naples was so tremendously impacted in Collier County, there were other places that were as much or worse, as we all know. One of them being Pine Island, and at that time was completely cut off. The bridge was closed. There was no way to get people out, and so someone had the idea that we could fly, because we were the only airport that was reopened, we could fly supplies to Pine Island to help get to those people. In a couple of days, we collected 18 pallets of supplies: food, water, clothes, blankets, cleaning supplies, hygienic supplies. From a community, this isn't some far off community that was like, oh, those poor people, right? This was a neighborhood and a place where people were suffering themselves, and they still had that much to give.
We had our grand opening on September 20th. The hurricane was September 28th, and then shut it down. We held a donate a meal initiative as soon as we could get the restaurants back open to feed our first responders and frontline workers. One of the first deliveries we made were to the Sanibel Fire Department, and my husband brought the meals over. He rode over the ferry, and he said, I can't even describe the devastation, just brought tears to my eyes. And those fire people were so grateful. We didn't do much. We just brought you a sandwich. I mean, it was nothing, in terms of what we can contribute, but it's what we were able to give. And they said, we've been eating MREs for 14 days. This is the first meal we've had. And it just broke my heart.
Wow. That really says something, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there are so many stories. Every person who experienced Hurricane Ian has their own individual story. So many people that we don't even know about were able to give and help out too.
Yeah, and like you said, everybody has a story. It's therapeutic to talk about. I think it helps everyone to kind of relive and realize where you were, and then also realize where you are today.
Yeah.